So, while I was out of town protesting, trying to fight for kids and everybody else, I guess somebody decided to get mad at me, doesn't like me somewhere around here. And they called the animal control and said that I abandoned my house. I don't know how I abandoned my house if I'm here. I live here. And they tried to get me with a felony charge for abandonment. And I said, how can you say that if my dogs are here? And yeah, look, we even got us some little puppies from Odie and Oakley. And yeah, I got them their food right now, some broth. What I like to do is boil up some veggies and everything else. I like to give them their fruits with their meals to soften it out. But out of all honesty, I don't know why people like to get so angry that I protect kids and women that they had to call on me. But I was deciding that I'm going to do something about this because it's a bunch of bullshit. That's falsified information, That's that's just you trying to peddle into some other shit, and I think it's kind of annoying. Honestly, I think it's really annoying, especially because from what they're saying, they said that I abandoned. And when I was out of town, my vieja was over here taking care of the dogs, just to make sure that they were all good. So my dogs have been good. They're healthy. They're alive. Everything else, they got updated. But I think it's just ridiculous how you guys will fight so hard for these dogs and everything else, but you won't fight for these kids within your government laws. Do I believe that animals do deserve safety? Yes, I do. But when you're going in for 10 years for a dog, and then you got like that last picture that I did where it showed that fucking nasty pervert. He only went to jail for a day. He went to jail for a day and he paid only 4% of whatever it is that they made. So, like, I don't see how the laws in our city and these officials and these haters that got to get mad about what I got to say about them, how they make themselves look so foolish. How they say that all this is bad. So, this is the law, right? The law is it's bad to have dogs in cages. They don't need vaccinations out on the streets. Dogs don't need vaccinations out on the streets. If it's a street dog, it don't need vaccinations. Soon as it gets into your house, or if you find it and you take care of it, even for like a second, or if you find it ends up in your yard, they say that it's yours. So why isn't the city paying for the vaccinations? You know why? Because they want you to be able to have more and stuff like that. And they say, well, animal lovers. They know that people feel compassion, that if you pick up an animal, they can make more off of you. So what I want to know is why they always got to have some kind of weird stuff going on with these dogs and animals. My dogs don't really go out too much. We go out of the backyard. My yard is big enough for us to run. I do take them out for walks, don't get me wrong. But what I don't get is how you guys spend more time investigating people's homes for an animal than you do inside of CPS and other things, And so, like I said, as a lawyer, it doesn't look too good for them. I can't really say that I'm worried about a monster's life or their bloodline or whatever it is. But when you look at them all these years and their intelligence, I don't see how they could look at their kids and say that somebody doing wrong to you deserves less than if they do wrong to an animal. So those laws that they make and these generate, I mean, they do get looked at accordingly, And like I said, there's nothing wrong with our furry animals, but everything should be equal, right? I don't think that a child's pain and trauma should live forever like that. But that's just our city and their laws and their patheticness. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these people say that they go for political reasons. They say all this. These politics will say so much, but like, what is their degree really obtained when you look at their true laws and what their intentions are? Does it show failure on their parents' part for the way that they raised them morally and ethically? Does it show that maybe their intelligence in school maybe wasn't at top notch of what we thought there was? Perhaps it was a purchased degree. Because when you're looking at what they do as a society, for society, they don't really do much. So is it the college's fault? Some part. It's college is like that one uncle that takes you under the wing and teaches you some stuff. And then your parents are the ones that teaches you what your heart desires. So if a lot of you desire your heart to be hardened towards children or favoritism in other areas because you care about animals more than kids, because maybe your kids are bastards and, I don't know, maybe they just ruined it for everybody. Maybe your experience as a parent just showed that kids just really ain't that important based off of your ideology. So with that being said, I hate to be your child if I was a politician at that fact, knowing that you don't have no morals, no code, no ethics. You can't even look at your own child and have any type of feeling. So what do you really have morally, ethnically, and all that? You're just pretty much pitiful because you stand there acting like you're untouchable and that your shit don't stink, but you think that your own kids was like the worst thing to ever have happened, where a child doesn't deserve better freedoms. So I feel bad for you politician kids to have to be looked at like that, that you had to be so horrible as a child that your politicianal parents didn't have no compassion over kids because of your experience with you. And people that would have a good experience would understand that maybe somebody that showed compassion towards kids is because they enjoyed being a parent. But when you have lack of compassion for kids, it's because of those little bastards they brought into this world that ruined it for all of us. Those little shitheads are probably the worst fucking thing ever produced in America. If not even their parents could make fair laws because of them. And I think that's also another reason why it is also their children's fault and why a lot of these problems keep happening. Because when you really look at it, somebody that acts like that and does all these laws, it really shows what their experience is like, what they really feel about their kids and all that. It all reflects, you know what I mean? Everything does. Everything reflects by your decisions. And like I said, if you have no compassion for kids or maybe you just, that just shows. Lack of compassion in kids shows your experience as a parent. And the way that you handle things as a politician shows the kind of parent you are as well. So if you fail the country, you failed as a parent as well, because if you can't raise your own kids, how can you raise ours? So you're just showing so many of the ways that you were raised. I feel bad for your parents because I can't imagine how their parents raised them to raise you like this. It's just horrible. How your intelligence thinks that you're so smart, but reality, real people looking at you, you look fucking stupid. You have no family value. You have no morals. You have no code. You already showed us what you think about being a parent because of the way your kids taught you. And you showed us how your family raised you. You showed us what your family fights for. You show us every little detail about yourself. And I think it's quite disgusting. It's sad, actually. And, I can understand why you guys are so scared about having to secure your family that much, because they're little bastards like you and they're not intelligent and they probably won't survive without your help, without your money, and without your scams. So with you saying all this and showing this, you are sad that you don't even have any confidence in your own kids. You probably got more confidence in your Border Patrol bringing you those kids for your party than you do in your own kids. That's pretty sad. You got more confidence in everything else, but not in your own children, not in your own future, not for anything. If you feel like you have to secure it that much, you need that much control to make sure your family is good, it's because you're just that pathetic. You just don't have the resources. Your family don't have the smarts and the intelligence or the worth ethics. You just showed that. And damn, that's what I'm saying. You guys are roasting your family and didn't even realize it. You guys are so pathetic. You couldn't even realize you were talking shit about your own family, your own values and everything. That's how pathetic you are. That's how stupid you are. Because you thought you were so smart and so intelligent, but you're not. Even the fucking me, no college degree. I went to college, but I didn't get a college degree. Couldn't spot this out. I am a mathematician, and 1 + 1 = 2, and you guys just, You guys are horrible, horrible. I hate to be your. I know everybody in the world is blessed to not have to call you family. Everybody in the world is blessed to not have to call you daddy or mommy. And so we got to take our blessing for what it is, because you are trash. You know, most parents, they know that their kids can survive. You know, they give them a few tools. They'll save just a little bit, you know, for college on the side, or they'll save up for the quinceañera. Normal stuff that normal people save up for, you know, because they know their kids can succeed. They know that their kids will do things in life. But you guys, oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. We are truly blessed when we look at things in a bigger light and a bigger view. And for you guys to have a money printer and your kids are still unsuccessful and still need you to wipe their ass, yeah, it's just bad, man. That's why so many grown children inside of the fucking political parties, because you guys don't know how to be men, don't know how to grow balls. That's probably why most of the people that go out there screaming they and them are political kids through CIA that push this agenda, so that way they can mutilate kids and stuff like that, because they're tired of their own kids, and you know, they want to stop all that. So, you know, when you're looking at it for what it is, a lot of these people are so pathetic that they can't do nothing else but try to stop us, because they know that we're going to be the ones that are going to succeed if we ever have even a little bit of breathing space, more than their own kids. And then they're going to have to look from the depths of what God has created that not even the devil gets to feel. They get to watch everything pass by and run by and see that everything that they've ever made doesn't exist or matter anymore. And I guess that's what makes them panic. I guess that's why they want to secure a future so bad, because they know after they're gone, there is nothing for them, not even heaven, and that there's a big party waiting for them. And so with them knowing that, that's probably why they don't change things. They don't change it because they know misery loves company, and they don't want to go alone. You know, they are. I mean, it's the big source. They're the first degree murderers, and anybody else is an accomplice. But when you're looking at it, these poor, pathetic souls don't even have confidence in their own kids and their future. That's why they have to secure it so much. Because if the playing field was level, they'd be the biggest losers in America, like they already are. But even more, it'd be publicly said. So not only would it be publicly said, but it'd also be visibly shown. So the only way that they could try to protect their pathetic little seeds from being harassed, bullied, and treated the way that they deserve is to overprotect, because obviously, you know, they have nothing else. They have no real defense. They have no real skills. They have no real intelligence. They have no real money, because it's all in a printer that they haven't earned. So when you're looking at it, they are the lowest form of humanity and civilization, because all they have is this machine, and all they invest on are smart people to be around them so they could look intelligent. And so they invest so much on intelligent people just so that way they don't look stupid. So they are actually the lowest form of human civilization. And they're also the most stupidest. And they're also, you know, they bring nothing good. Their laws are no good. Their seeds are no good. Their own life is no good. Their decision is leading them to a place of no good. Even the heavens and God himself will celebrate. Everybody will celebrate. Their own ancestors. If their child was dead and it reached heaven, even their child will celebrate. And so, you know, if their child, like a miscarriage, I'd say, because that's still in the process. But I'd say even that one would celebrate because of something evil and a devil being casted into hell. But like I said, not even the devil goes to hell for as long as you people. Because you go for eternity, he only goes for 1,000 years. The sentence is already set. It is, and says it in the Bible, that you will go for an eternity. And it says in the Bible in Revelations that he only goes for 1,000 years. So even the devil has a chance to leave the hell and not you. So you're the lowest form, and you thought so highly of yourself. That's why he says humbleness. Because when you look at your life and you look at everything, just like right now, how we just broke it all down and you just showed what kind of fucking nastiness you are, mentally, physically, spiritually, and even relationally, your own kids, I feel bad for them. I feel really bad that their own parents don't even think that they have a successful future or intelligence to be able to lead to one, that they had to live like this. So I think it's pretty sad how that happens. But the truth of the reality is, it is what it is. And that's the problem with today, that we don't have real parents that been through struggles, that know how it is and have a success story. Instead, we have, well, daddy had a name and so I'm in the game because I can't get another job because I'd fuck up there and I'd probably end up on the streets or dead. Or I'd end up having to join what my parents call the fuck ups, when they're the only ones with morals and code that actually go to jail. They live by morals. You know, they fight and they struggle, but if it wasn't for their political fucking nastiness, we wouldn't be living like this. Actually, we'd be a lot stronger. The gangs would probably be in control because they actually have a lot more morals and everything else, and they have a better system. You guys, unfortunately, are just mentally fucking stupid. You know, it's just kind of fucked up, but that's the reality of it. And so that's the only way you could secure yourself. And the only way to separate you from them was to have a little bit nicer clothes. So you just wear a little bit nicer, you think that you're a little bit cleaner, and just because that they don't wear the clothes that you wear, you try to say that you're better. You say, well, I can afford this $1,000 fucking shirt that's only worth $100 or $20. And then just because you're wearing that, you feel so lavish and you feel so much better than everybody else. But yet the other people are more respected because they have a respectable nature about them. And now you were being honored and you were feeling so good getting saluted, while these kids you affected, you actually ruined our family. There's even gang members that have military family. You ruined their name too by following you in your sickness because they're chasing after the money that you guys provide from the benefits and everything else. You know, those same benefits you can actually give to every citizen, because in technicality, we are all soldiers, because if anybody comes to these lands, who do you think has to fight front lines? We do. So we're all military and we all deserve the benefits and we all deserve it. But you know what? Because of your guys' treason, if anybody ever did come here, we'd be giving your guys' names up. We'd be telling them where the political houses are. We have all your guys' names and say, well, these are the people that went and ruined your shit. And we give them up all your names. Because if we're not in the military as citizens to defend the country, we might as well be spies. Because if we're not going to be paid or respected as citizens or military to protect the country, we should at least invest our time on others that can actually take care of us or respect us as front lines for the country. So, you know, if we got to be front lines, like I said, let's just be front and honest. You know, if they're not going to pay me to protect the country, why should I protect these politicians? You know, they're the ones that say they run the country. They say the country is theirs. Why should we protect them? Why should we fight for people that don't even give us the respect as military to protect these country grounds if we're protecting the country, striking and protesting about the laws that they're making? So technically we are protecting this country against these politicians by protesting, because the country's going to shit in shambles because of these fucking idiots. And I don't know what it is or what's the problem with them, but we just show them their true intentions. It's a little look in the mirror for themselves, not using me, of course, I'm too handsome for that, but using words for you to see exactly what the world sees of you now. So that way your children know what you feel about them now. So that way the country knows also. But, you know, just because I'm not wearing a uniform doesn't mean I'm not protecting the country. Just like my protest saying all this, it is helping fight for the future and the country. So if I'm not getting paid or getting benefits like, say, my medical and everything else, or getting my rent free or my utilities, you know, why would I want to protect these politicians or their kids? Why would I want to fight to protect them when I can fight to protect my own children? Because, you know, I'm getting tired of paying these taxes that they could have printed out in the fucking machine themselves. So technically, we don't even have to pay taxes if they can print it in a fucking machine, because they could use that machine to pay for whatever needs to get fixed. But because they like to steal our money, that's theft. They steal our money. And so they're making a balance that they had to pay back to God because they're stealing God's children's money. and they're asking for 1%, and they're doing all this trying to take more of our money, so they're stealing us. It's pretty much like Debo saying, well, you pay me now, and if you don't pay me, then your life is going to suck. So they're stealing your money, and that balance that they owe will be paid by their children and their children's children until all of it is paid in full, because God, He writes everything down. So don't worry about it, fam. All of them, they got a balance. They damn their own kids. They look at their kids like trash and shit anyways. I mean, they already threw them in the furnace. So let's just celebrate and just work on how we're going to be able to clean up this mess, because, you know, even though these Walking Dead zombies are still amongst us, you know, it's not a big problem, because they only have so long, and they're only waiting for one thing, and they don't even have treasures in heaven anymore because they're locked out. Thank God that He is the biggest blessing, and God is the most just Father that there is, and that they can't run away from consequence no matter how much they pay. But yeah, taxes shouldn't even be paid if you have a fucking machine that prints money. You know? So like, when you're looking at it for what it is, these fucking idiots, these bird brain shitheads, yeah, they got it pretty bad, and they're just hoping that nobody decides to go off like Floyd Mayweather, but with guns. They're scared as shit right now, because they know that these bird brains and these shitheads that could be casted into the lake of fire for eternity and never escape, like the devil, is able to not escape, but be having a less conviction time because he's not as bad as they. So let us just enjoy this time, figure out how to take out the trash, sweep and clean as much as possible as Father God watches us. But the monsters have no way of getting out of this. They have a balance that needs to be paid over all the years that they've been in politics. All the money that they've ever taken from us needs to be paid in full. All the people that never spoke up for us, they need to speak up and start making some laws. They need to start doing something, because if not, they've condemned themselves for eternity, and there's no way out of it. And once they step down and they have no ability to be able to repair what they've done, they're completely locked out of heaven. Right now they have a chance. They have a chance to be able to leave, because they could pay the balance in a large amount right now. They could free the poor and the needy. They can unlock all of those closed cases and open up for true justice. But if they don't do all this, they're going to fall as an entity. They're going to fall as a giant entity together, and that's like Goliath being sent to hell. And so, you know, like I said, let us celebrate, let us rejoice. Let us know that these sick individuals have paid the price in full, that even their children are already knowing what they are looked at as, because they're the biggest failures of America. And they wouldn't have been in those schools if it wasn't for their parents' money and their political power. They would not have been in the position that they're in if it wasn't for their corrupt parents and their monstrous parents. And that's the sadness. Us, we've earned our ways. If you come from a poor family, you've earned your way in there. You've done the hard work. Them, they skip the lines. That's how they can't do it. They're not mentally capable of being able to do such things. So they haven't earned anything on this earth. So they haven't earned true treasures. They haven't earned true things, true wages, true responsibility, true respectability, nothing. That's why they're only respected upon monsters and not respected in the streets, not respected in family homes, not respected by the populace, not respected by the true majority that isn't political. None of them are respected in any of our brackets, only in their political brackets, because they have nothing else. So I feel bad. Well, I don't feel bad for them. Their price is paid in full. They can't blame nobody else, because free will is free will. So they got to take it with a grain of salt. Their parents and their ancestors and their lifestyle is leading them exactly where they deserve. And there's no escape from it. Even the family that they married to, that pray to God every day, that same God that they go to church every day for is going to be the same one that drags them to hell. Isn't that beautiful? Even their spouses and their family and all of their families, the same God that they pray to is going to be the same one to throw all these political people in their seats straight to hell. Isn't that beautiful? How ironic that is, huh? How some of the most spiritual warriors and the strongest ones are going to be the front lines right next to those political parties, praying that the evil goes to hell every day, praying to the same Father God that is the biggest judge and the only loving Father for us and not they. And so that is just amazing to know. Amazing to know that even the families around them that surround them, that go to church every day, are going to wait to celebrate their death, are praying to the same God that's going to punish and condemn them for eternity. That's beautiful if you think about it. It should put a good feeling in your stomach every day. I don't see how you guys cannot wake up and be grateful for the Lord when you know these things now. Wake up with a different type of energy. Wake up with a new smile. You ladies, my wives especially, I've been seeing new smiles. Some of them I still need to work harder to get that big smile, but it's getting there. But these political parties, that let down my wives, my fam, everybody else as well. You let your own family down too. You let down yourself, your own soul. You let down everything. So you're just a big letdown. Like I said, you're the biggest mistake in America. You're the biggest mistake to ever have created by yourself with your own greedy little selfish hands. God didn't create you like that. You were a cherub. He created you innocent. Your family raised you to be this piece of shit. Your family and your morals and your heart led you to be like this. That's why your family is the reason why you're damned. That's why your family is the reason why, even states in the Bible, because of your parents and their decisions of trying to lead a whole group into poverty, is going to lead them to the lake in the fire. And it could even affect up to the third and fourth generational seeds because of how big the balance is. And you guys are so fucked. The reality is reality. You guys wanted to be a Pharaoh instead of a David. You all wanted to be the guy that captured Samson instead of be a Samson. And now look at your price paid in full. Isn't that a beautiful thing to hear on a beautiful Sunday? That's what we were talking about at church. Even the church has a new prayer and a new song. We're all celebrating and calling for God to show us where to go from here, because the monsters no longer exist. The monsters are only here waiting for their end, waiting for the imprisonment that they have earned. And us, we're just trying to figure out what to do next. Even the church has new songs. Even the church has new energy, because they know now what could happen to them trying to sell mold in God's churches. What their greed could lead them to if they did not help the community around them and used God's name. Do not misuse the name. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord. That's the third commandment. You shall have no other idols. If you feared the government and what could happen to you because of what you might say for us, you've already idolized the government more than God. So if you idolize them because you're more afraid of them than God to speak the truth, you've damned yourself and your seeds as well, just as the Pharisees. So you need to pay attention to what you do to a community of people, because some of you have a nice little child and a lot of you are spilling mold everywhere, that you're condemning that poor little child. And it isn't until they're out of their cherub stage, or unless you've done a sin so bad that you have to go through it regardless. And it isn't about strength, it's about your pride. And you need to figure out exactly how to change it. Because if not, you already know, you've gone to school for it and you studied this in the Bible, that the lake of fire will condemn even to the third and fourth generational seeds based off of their parents. And with you selling mold and being so afraid of the government or pushing their agenda, you've already led yourself into the lake of fire, even if you receive blessings of money. God says, come to me. You know why? He says, come to me because you could either have one of two masters. There's no in between. Either money is your master or God. And a lot of you in the church have all these brand new things wasting all the money. So you're after the money. You're not after God. I don't see humbleness. And so a lot of you already locked yourself in and you don't even realize it. You're so full of yourself and so full of pride that you want to harden your heart as the Pharaoh. And when he said, release my people from these chains, release my people from this strucken food with mold in it, release the people. What did the Pharisees say? He laughed at him. He made so much sense, but he still laughed at him. He said, you're dumb. God ain't going to look at you. Where is he, huh? I still have the money in my hands. I'm still leading these people. I'm still doing this and that. Well, the Pharaoh was able to laugh for so long until he walked and got swept away by the waters. Or now in today's form, the street sweepers. Because God said he would not flood the earth with water no more. And instead he would handle it a different way. And so when you look at things for what it is, why would you choose to be a Pharisee amongst a people? Why would you choose to be a Pharisee, knowing what they do and how they are and what it led them to? You see, there are people that preach the word, but there's also the Pharisees that preach the word. There's a big difference, okay? And some people might get full of themselves, and that might be the test of God. But walking away from what you've done already instead of fixing what you've done, it also is something bad to have written in the book of life. I warned these people and I gave them a chance, but they decided to step down instead of take the challenge and repair what they've done. And so now you've locked yourself in for eternity because you didn't have anything honorable about yourself. No will, no fight, no nothing. You chose the devil and his schemes. If I step down, at least the devil wins because there's no chance of repair. And you walk away and you leave your sentence for what it is. But then you got the warriors of God that step up and say, I'm here for the challenge. I know it's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to repair. I'm willing to street sweep. That's the difference between a man and a monster. That is the difference between a man and a monster. So feel comfortable in your skin now, hardened hearts. Even the Pharaoh felt comfortable until the last plague he held in his arms. Careful with your decisions, O Pharaohs. Careful with your decisions, O Pharisees. Careful with your decisions. Because it may lead you and your generational seeds into the arms of our future, because the future is looking better. And God just said, now that my children are waking up, imagine the kind of things that God could have done once all his children are woken up. Imagine what your children will look like at the end of the sword during the great war between good and evil. What will it look like when you yourself cannot even lift a gun? What will it look like for you and your children when you've angered God's children so much that they are prepared for war against the evils of this earth, from greed, from political agendas, and from even Pharisees' agendas? You know, they made fun of us with little Nicky when they said that they threw the devil in our churches. That was the way Hollywood wanted to laugh at us. So the Pharisees, you've earned yours. You've earned your keep. But tell me, how good do you feel about yourself now, knowing that the true wokeness is awakening? You try to use wokeness as your liberal left or the radical or whatever the fuck you want to name any of the bullshit. I just call it a shit party. Well, a monster party, just full of shit. The sewer line party, as you call it. You guys don't really have much except for your end waiting for you and your children to join you. Either they'll go first or you, because, you know, the Pharaoh, his bastard son, went first and he joined him afterwards. So it's really up to you what you want, you know. And I could say that clearly because, yeah, you called us bastards for so long, but look at who are the true bastards. The one that the Father has forgotten. You are the true bastards, not us. Not us. You are the true bastards because you have been abandoned by Father God. You are the true bastards of the earth. And you made fun of us for so long, huh? Well, my family knows how to cook. I know how to roast. And when you got a family full of cooks, roasters, lawyers, spiritual lawyers, that is, better ones, And yeah, we do have a time where we all gather together and we talk about things. It's not political, it's more spiritual in the name of Father God, pointing out these problems and these issues. And I'm glad that you all can listen and hear this because, you know, some of you need to hear this about your pathetic parents, about your pathetic seeds. Some of us need to hear this so that way we could rejoice knowing that Father God is good. And we're going to celebrate, like I said. Every time we see one of you on the news, we're going to pop open a can and we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate and we're going to celebrate, and so will the heavens celebrate with us every time we see you on the news. And that's fair game. Just crack open that beer and say, one down, couple more monsters to go until the future is secure. So all they're waiting for is just their party. They wanted a party. They wanted to be popular. They wanted to be cool. At least let's give them one last party before they hit eternity. You know?